Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can add custom attributes to the devices, right? So custom attributes, nothing but an extension attributes, which we have a number of attributes that we can assign and create a different set of policies to assign those policies on the device level to make sure we are going to assign particular permissions, particular actions that it should be allowed to do, right? So there are custom attributes from extension attribute 1 to extension attribute 15, right? So we get to add different attributes over there on each of the devices, and each attribute can be given a particular value. So this follows, or custom attributes follows key pair value section, right? And let's say extension attribute 1 as a key and pair is going to be its value, right? So whatever is going to be the value is going to add that value to that respective attribute, respective key, and then that can be added to any other purposes, like while creating conditional access policy to protect any specific roles or anything that we wanted to protect, right? Protect as in when any user or any administrator wanted to access any specific application, it is going to be kind of only enforcing that respective attribute. And if that is matching using policy, then only allow it to access that resource or application. Otherwise, it is going to simply deny that access, right? So I'm going to show you how we can add the custom attributes, and then probably we can also go ahead and create a conditional access policy where we would be adding that custom attributes to either allow access or block access. And then depending on that, we can take the further steps, right? So first, let's talk about what is custom attributes or extension attributes, right? So it's just a kind of attribute which is going to be associated with a device object within Entra ID, and from there we can go ahead and assign it to the particular devices and then assign it with using different policies, right? Right. So how we can create that, and they are useful for targeting on different levels, like group targeting, dynamic group rules, right? Along with conditional access, automations, and tagging devices as well, right? So do that, we can also enforce all of that attributes and then enforce right set of policies and tagging and everything together, right? So in this video, I'm going to specifically show you by how we can create, what are the different approaches to create it, different methods, as well as how we can do that. But out of all these methods, I will show you using Graph PowerShell as well as Graph Explorer, which is Graph API, right? So let's talk about the first method, which is Microsoft Graph API, which is a direct API call to patch the device attributes, right? This is a flexible and very easy to scriptable, as well as it's a easy way to automate as well, right? And the requirement or the cons of this is that requires permissions and tokens in order to do this. Permissions includes the right set of permissions to be able to create and add custom security or custom attributes, not the security one, majorly custom attributes as well, right? The second is Microsoft Graph PowerShell. So there is a commandlet as available as well. And by using that commandlet, we can simply go ahead and do that. So it's easier for admins and it's familiar with the PowerShell script as well, right? And limited bulk options in this case, because there are something which we need to build, and sometimes the script does not execute as per the need if we have to update the same in thousands of devices, right? Then next is Entra portal, but in the Entra portal, we cannot really go ahead and update it. So that's not the right option. Instead, we can use either PowerShell or the Graph API, right? The next is Azure automation or using Azure Logic Apps. So those are the automation ways to do this, right? And by using those features or those capabilities, we would be able to do this. And those are also using direct APIs inside the runbooks or workflows to make the use of this. And that's that's going to be a scalable automation, and it needs initial setup to do that, but it is going to be very easy and quick and fast as well once you have everything set up ready, right? And the last one is on the Microsoft Intune side, but you really don't get options similar to Entra ID, where we don't have options to go ahead and simply find that attributes and then add or edit or maybe just modify if we have such a default or by default or the previous attributes basically, right? So that's going to be something which we cannot do. So remember this Entra ID or Entra portal as well as Intune admin portal, those are not the right options to do this, or even they don't have the right appropriate setup as of now, but probably in future it might be available, right? But currently Graph API and Graph PowerShell along with the Graph portal, right? So these are the options as well as the last option which I told, Azure automation or logic application, right? So without any delay, I'm going to go ahead and start on this and we'll show you how we can go ahead and do this, right? So let's go ahead and do that. And there is also one of the way that we can do, which is going to be kind of step by steps to register an application within Entra ID with the right set of permissions, and then we can execute the methods or the scripts, right? So that's also going to be something which we really don't want to take part because that's also a kind of time consuming process, as well as give it a permissions. And even during the PowerShell mechanism, as well as Graph API PowerShell or Graph API, even that also needs a permission, but that's easy and quick and fast, right? So let's go ahead and do that. So before that, I will jump onto the Entra portal and jump onto the devices section. And I would simply show you how we can do that, right? So just a minute. All right, so let me share my screen here. All right, so we are on Entra portal here, and from Entra portal, you can see that I have a bunch of devices here, and you can also see there are few devices which are part of autopilot. So those are the active devices, and I wanted to simply assign the attributes to these devices. Let's say this is the one of the device where I wanted to assign, and this is also one of the device where you can see that this is a Windows device which is managed by Intune, right? And it's not compliant because it's a virtual machine and the policy is not set it up appropriately. So it's simply not considering as a compliant device, right? So let's go ahead and click on this device and I'll show you the properties or details about this. So you can see that extension attributes. So currently we don't have any extension attributes on this device assigned at all. And we can go ahead and assign it. So whatever is going to be the approach or whatever is going to be the device, right? So that's going to be something. Just a minute. Let me. Oh, sorry about that. That was the pause. Okay. I'll share the screen again. And all right. So we are on Entra portal here, right? And from the devices, we need to go to that respective device in order to see whether it has any extension attribute or not. So for now, I'm going to simply assign any of the attributes to this device, whichever attributes I wanted to assign, and then that attribute can be leveraged for different use cases, different requirements, right? So how we can do that? As I said, we have two options. Those are pretty straightforward and handy to do it, right? And the third option, which is to create Azure automation or Azure logic apps. And by using that, definitely we should have a right set of permissions to be added and given those permissions in order to perform that action. Because either we can do it by using a scheduled scripts using Azure automation by setting up that script and schedule it on particular time or duration to execute it. If not, then we can simply use the logic app to run it on demand as well, right? So this is how we can do it. So let's jump on to the Graph portal, which is Graph Explorer here. And I'm already logged in with my account here at the top right, you can see. And then from there, you can come back to the portal here. You can see it's going to, if I run this query, it's going to give details about myself as an end user, right? So this is the basic details about my account. So this is the API URL. And to do that, now I wanted to first pick up this device ID to show or see this device. So let's say devices, I'll just select devices and then I'll enter that ID, right? So this is going to be possible. Oh, that is showing something. Let's run it. Oh, but it says not found. That's strange. I think it's a object ID and not the device one. So probably that's why it's just not giving it. Oh, now it has worked. You can see that it says OK 200 and but still it shows the possible error found in this ID. Not sure why, but you can see here I found the device which is Windows 10 device, right? And then you can see the device name, display name of this device, and then the other details like hardware hash ID and quit and all other details, right? So let's go down. Here you can see that there are different custom attributes from extension attribute 1 to 15, right? So you can see currently it's a null value. That means there is nothing. But to add that one, we are going to add it using this method, right? So I'm going to show you how we can add that one. And there's an option for us, which is a patch. I think it's not putting the pointer over there or letting me do that. Also, there is pre-built command. Let's say you search over here and get specialized or specified Azure AD device. So this is going to simply give us this commandlet over here and give us a device ID and run this command. So you can see that it has worked. It has executed successfully, and you can scroll down and see the details, right? Also, there is another one which is going to list Azure AD devices. So let's run it. Perfect. So it has executed and it has given us all the different devices as well, right? Then there is Windows updates as well. So you can see list Azure AD devices or get Azure AD devices. So whatever it is, we can simply run it, right? So for now, we have to just jump onto the patch management, and from there, I'm going to show you how we can do that, right? So let's go back, and I will simply run this one to just come back and see. And we need to add the device object ID and select the method here, which is a patch. And I have that script ready over here. So there are two ways, as I said, one is with Graph PowerShell and one is with this one, right? So this is the script that I have. So if I wanted to add two different attributes, so let's say first is going to be, I wanted to add secure access attribute, and then next is for, I would add conditional access policy, right? So I'll just copy this, but to know and understand this one, you need to make sure what are the properties that you are targeting, right? So extension attributes, we are targeting extension attribute 1 and extension attribute 5, right? So these are the two properties that we are targeting here in order to apply and execute it, right? So I have given it values, and this is a key. As I said, it follows key value pair. And let's say this is our key and this is a value. So it becomes key value pair in order to particularly execute it and then add that specific attributes and values to it, right? So we are ready here. We have selected the patch method as well as we have device ID selected, and then what are the attributes we wanted to add. So those are added here as well. So let's go ahead and execute this one. All right, you can see that there is no content 204 message. That means this has successfully executed and it has added these two attributes successfully. So let's jump back to the device or Entra portal and we can just see it. So for now it is not showing. Let's go back and probably we might need to refresh this as well. So that's better to refresh it once and come back to the device and it should show up something, right? So currently it is not showing up yet because it is just going to take a bit of time, right? And it has to synchronize it as well. So probably it's going to show us after some time. So let's do one thing, go back to Intune. And I believe the device is also turned off. So it can also take a bit of time in order to synchronize it between device and Entra ID and Intune, because there's a three-way communication that needs to happen. So first communication is going to happen between Entra to devices or Entra to Intune. And then the second communication is going to happen between Intune and device, which is a client server interaction, right? So that's going to be the second one. So this is the virtual machine that I have. So this is starting up. Meantime, we can go back to the portal and is the device section. All right, so these are the devices. So this is the one device that we have executed the script to add the extension attributes, right? So let me sync from here. This is going to be for synced. I'm just rerunning it and let it run. All right. So this is the one method that I have shown you to add, or how we can add the extension attributes to that respective device, right? So let's jump on to the next one. Next one is from Graph PowerShell. So I'm over here on the Graph PowerShell and I'm going to show you from the beginning, right? So from here, let's connect to the Graph PowerShell by running the script. So this is the commandlet, which is, and we can also run get mggraph, get mgcontext to see whether it is successfully logged in. Account is, yes, perfect. So we are logged in over here and now we can go back. So over here, I wanted to add, or let's say we can simply update it. Let's say we had added different one. Now maybe probably I would add 2 and here 7. So different attributes. And then let's copy out this whole script, then jump back to the PowerShell. And then from here, we can just simply run it. So probably it's going to ask for the device name because we are trying to get the mg device commandlet. So we need to pick up that device name from here, copy it. Okay, it says it's not recognized as the name of the this commandlet function. Okay, so it's about this commandlet or update. The term update is not recognized. Okay, so this is the commandlet which says that it is not update or appropriate one, and that is why it is not going to update it. Okay, so we can also simply do one thing. Let's go back, clear this screen, and let's come back to the script over here. Right. So this was not the correct one. So I'll simply pick up this one, right? And copy this one, and let's try it here. Okay, so it seems there is something missing here. So, but this is the right way to do this, right? And then I believe we can simply cut it out from here. Let's sit here. And we can go back and execute it. Oh, that is just moving and not taking. Let me run this clear history command. Now, so seems the commandlet has something to do with. So probably this is going to be another topic, but this way we should be able to add as well. And this is the way which is I showed you here. This is pretty straightforward and faster, but definitely if you need to update the extension attributes to the hundreds and thousands of devices, then this is not going to be the right setup solution or way, right? And then it's going to take time to do that, right? So let's say our virtual machine is back. So I'll just simply log into it. Meantime, it is logging in. Let's go back to the Entra portal and probably I'll just open up device profile and let's see if it shows up. Oh, that is not it showing up, right? So it is not it showing up, but definitely it's going to be added to the device's extension attributes and it has run successfully. That means there is no error, nothing. And if you see this one, so this is something which is on the specific device level, but it should be picking it up, right? So probably it should, okay, so this is still opening, right? So yeah, this is what I wanted to show you and add it. Now I can show you how we can add that specific attributes or target in the conditional access policies. So let's jump on conditional access policies and then I will show you on the device level or device filters, right? Because we wanted to target devices, what actions to be allowed, what actions should not be allowed, and how we can block certain application access and all of that stuff, right? So let's say conditional access policy or CA, then we can restrict web app on unmanaged device, something like that. So from here, we can assign to any specific group or users or something like that. But let's say target any specific applications, whichever we wanted to. Let's say select an application. Let's say Office 365. So I'm just considering it. But there are so many applications that we wanted to add. Let's say we wanted to target Exchange and SharePoint. Then add it. Then conditions. So under conditions, we have here filters for devices. We wanted to add it, right? So let's say if the application or if the device has that attribute which we have added over here and is matching, then only allow access, otherwise should be blocked, right? So how we can do that? So by searching that attributes, let's say this one equals to what was attribute SA, right? Also we can add another attributes. We have added cap, okay, 5, which is equals, and then we added cap, right? So this is going to be adding this one If it includes, then only allow, otherwise should be blocked. Or if that device has this access or this attributes, then only allow to access that respective applications, otherwise should be blocked. Also, we can directly exclude that specific ones, and then we can target or enforce either multi-factor authentication or block it simply. Let's say we want to exclude, we have to add the filters as well, and click on done. We are good here. And on the grant access side, we are going to simply block it. We don't want to consider those devices as all at all. And then we are blocking the access on it. And then we can go ahead and test it, how it is going to work and all. And then make use of this policy appropriate, right? So let me copy this name and create this policy. So this policy is going to be created on report only mode and it's going to be added, and we can simply go ahead and search it over here once it is added, right? So yep, this is the policy, and the main purpose of this is to add those attributes and add those attributes appropriately so that we can also target the devices levels and provide the right set of access to only those devices which are marked as a compliant, which marked as managed devices, whether those are specific to any locations or something like that, or what, right? So basis on that, we can also go ahead and do that one, right? And we can check that attributes over here, as I talked about over here, right? And it should be showing up once that is successfully added and synchronized with the device between Entra and Intune and devices. Perfect. So here you can see that those attributes are showing up over here. It took a bit of time, but it is going to be added and showing up as well. So let's say copy this one and come back to the device over here. And probably we should be going to hardware, and let's see if it is showing up over here. On the hardware side within Intune, let's see on the properties. Probably it is not going to show us, but we can go ahead and check whether it shows up or not. This is a different one, probably. All right. So on the device side, from Intune side, as I said, there is no complete and direct management of those attributes, right? And to do that, either we can simply go back to Graph API portal or Azure Automation or PowerShell, right? So those are the ways which we can do it, right? And then definitely it's going to be adding and helping us to create different layers of policies and target those devices in order to access particular resource. Then we can block any other resources as well. And those can be providing right set of access levels and managing devices and everything together, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. I wanted to show you and talk about. Hope you will like it and hope you learn something new. Also, to share this video with the friends and colleagues and people around you so that they can also learn something new. And it's very good to see that everyone learns and move further, right? So yeah, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel as well. And also share this video with your friends and people around you, right? So yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.